Shalom, shalom, and welcome to this weekend's Chappy Thoughts on the weekend readings. So, here are my thoughts, y'all. Remember that the gospel is always a gospel of life and life-giving and of truth. And that doesn't mean like these are specific ideas and now I'm going to fit truth into like this one little sentence, and it shall be my truth and I shall call it truth and it shall be no one else's and everybody else must think this truth. I think truth is only something that can really be lived and experienced and participated in, and it's in that knowing and that participating that it really brings us to life. And what it does is it helps us to see this eternal current of love that is always pulling forward and that is always flowing forward, and that is always flowing into newness, and it's a great mystery of love. And you know, I think that that's a lot of what today's readings are talking about. It's talking about this wisdom, the wisdom of being able to dip into this current that already is, and that already is one within us, and is just longing for us to be still long enough to see that wisdom and that truth is already within us. Many metaphors for one deep truth that is the heartbeat of everything and everyone. And so in today we hear about wisdom, and wisdom is creating a meal for us, and is inviting us and is feeding us if we are able to stop and to really pull into our hearts and into our beings and into the hearts of what is around us to see this wisdom and this truth of this current of love that is flowing through everything, and that is calling us to abide in. So in the second reading today, it's interesting. Well, first I want to say this. I think it's interesting when we say, you know, the love of Christ be with you. And I wish that we would start to make a habit of saying the love of Christ is with you. The love and the peace and the blessings of our Lord Jesus Christ are with you, because it's all, everything that we need is there. And I think prayer is designed for us not for us to change God's minds about things, but for us, as good old Richie would talk about, but to allow God to help change the way that we are seeing our reality, or whatever it is that is happening within us, and to become a part of this eternal flow. Now, in the second reading today, we have is from Ephesians, and it can sound kind of harsh at first, where St. Paul is saying, you know, don't be foolish, and don't understand the Lord's will, and don't get drunk with wine, and only be filled with the Spirit. And I think this is interesting, but there's also a truth, and no matter who you are, if when you find yourself in turmoil, if you turn to booze, or if you turn to food, or if you turn to anything other than love and forgiveness to try to fill you up, it won't. Maybe you'll feel better for a minute, but it will leave you longing for more of that thing to be able to try to make you happy or relieved or whatever it may be, but it doesn't make you a new creation. It doesn't heal you. And I think today what we see in our readings is an invitation to say, always in life, always abide in God and abide in this love. But when you find yourself going through a difficult time, don't reach to things and substances to try to make you better, but instead look towards love and look towards God and find that stillness of the deep okayness that is within life. Singing psalms and singing prayers and singing and pulling yourself almost out of your own being and into the love of God. And in this, Jesus saying, taste and see, and Jesus saying, I am the bread of life. And you know, what is it that you are feeding within you? Jesus, this way to life of forgiving love, the ultimate forgiving love and complete acceptance. Jesus is showing us that this is the way, the truth, and the life to be lived. This loving forgiveness that is already abiding in you. Grace and peace, friends.